Hi, this is Rudy Jones of PalmettoStateBaseball.com. Welcome to the South Carolina College Baseball video recap for Wednesday, January the 28th. No, there weren't any games played in the state today, but there was some news going on. As I record this about 8:20 on Wednesday night, I've got a NAIA game between number 20 Texas A&M Victoria and Huston Tillotson going on in the background. I just like having baseball for background noise. Now, there was some news in the state, as I mentioned. Let's get on to that. Bad news for the University of South Carolina as they try to bounce back from a 28-29 season last year. For the second straight season, the Gamecocks have lost their Friday night starter before the first pitch was ever thrown. Last year it was Eli Jersenbeck who was out with an injury. It actually happened, I think, the week of the first game. This one is about a week and 2 days from it. Jake McCoy, a left-handed pitcher who is projected to be the Friday night starter, is going to be out for the year because of Tommy John surgery. He suffered an injury to his UCL, and so that'll put him to the sideline. Who will replace him? Don't know. Apparently some of the candidates may be Alex Philpott, transferring from Florida, Amp Phillips, who transferred in from USC Upstate, and possibly Riley Goodman, who was a redshirt last year after an injury. Of course, there could be other guys. The Gamecocks brought in a lot of new players after it going 28-29 last season. I know they're hurt that this didn't happen. Best of luck to Jake as he tries to recover from this. I thought he was the most impressive of the Gamecocks pitchers on a consistent basis last year. One of the things you may remember about him is he would make a donation to a veterans support group for each strikeout he had during the season. John Whittle of the BigSpur.com had a nice suggestion. If you're a Gamecock fan and you want to try to maybe boost Jake's morale a little bit, even though it won't help him get back on the mound this year, make a donation to his campaign. I'm sure you can just look up Jake McCoy and Strikeouts for Veterans, and you get a link to do that. I'm sure that he would appreciate that, and it might boost his day a little bit. Now, something for a little bit more positive. Over in Spartanburg today, Miles Corcoran, a pitcher from Indianland High School, goes to Spartanburg Methodist College, was on his way to school today when he happened to look in his rearview mirror and saw that a vehicle had slid off the road in the icy conditions, and he said, I've got to stop and go back. So he did. He went back, and there was a lady that had 3 children under the age of 5 with her. They were scrambling out of the truck or trying to get out. And Corcoran stayed there and helped comfort the children and keep everything going until the EMS support people got there. So that's a nice thing for Miles Corcoran, being a good Samaritan as he does this. That's kind of leadership that I know can help on the field too. If you do those things as away from the field, that just shows you've got leadership capabilities. So congratulations to him for that. A job well done. Also on Wednesday, the HBCU Athletic Conference announced its preseason poll. The Voorhees Tigers were picked to finish 7th in the league, and Jordan Hill of Voorhees was a second-team all-conference pick preseason-wise. Of course, there are a lot of changes going on because of the weather. The weather hit us hard last week, and it looks like it could happen again, at least in the upstate of South Carolina. They got the possibility of 2 to 4 inches of snow. We'll see whether it happens or not. Last week they projected a lot worse weather than it was, and thankfully that probably led to fewer people being hurt, even though there was some injuries, some property damage, and the like. But anyway, because of the prospect of snow coming up this weekend, there's going to be some changes already. Thursday was originally just supposed to be an open date, no games going on, but Columbia International has a 4-game series against Point University down in Georgia, and they have moved it up. They moved it up from Friday, Saturday to Thursday, Friday. So those teams are going to be playing a doubleheader at 3 o'clock on Thursday. I believe there is video streaming planned. Just check out Point University Skyhawks, and they may be able to link you to the right place. Also, Florida Starlington Tech's been stuck with having to make a lot of schedule changes so far. You may remember that last weekend they were scheduled to play in a junior college tournament out in Arlington, Texas. The ice storm got it. They had to cancel it, and Tech was able to scramble with some other schools and get in 3 games down in Fort Myers, Florida over the weekend. The Stingers went 1-2, but it was a good tournament, a good test for them. And the same thing has happened again this week as far as the tournament change. They're supposed to be in the Visit Panama City Beach tournament. It was supposed to begin Friday down at, obviously, Panama City Beach, Florida. But because of the weather, they've now moved it up. They've compacted it into a two-day tournament, with, I believe, 15 games. There are 15 teams, might be 14 games, I have to double check. But there are 15 teams involved. 5 of them are ranked in the top 20, top 25 in the NJCAA preseason Division I poll, and another 2 teams are ranked in the top 25 in the preseason Division II junior college poll. So that's a good tournament, another good test for Coach Preston McDonald's squad. They've played these types of tournaments for several years, and it helps get them ready. And it has paid off. For instance, last year, of course, they went to the Junior College World Series. So on Thursday, the Stingers are going to be playing a pair of games. All these games are at Publix Sports Park, by the way, in Panama City Beach, if you want to drive down there. But on Thursday at 4 o'clock Eastern Time, the Stingers will be playing Chattahoochee Valley. Then at 6:30, they will be playing Northwest Florida State, which is another ranked team. They're ranked 20th. Lots of changes on Friday. There have been several teams that have canceled games. Some have moved them. And I'll just go down what we've got right now for games on Friday. Rio Grande out of Ohio is going to be playing at Voorhees for a doubleheader. First game is at noon. They'll also be playing a doubleheader on Saturday. Claflin competes in the Willie Mays HBCU Invitational down at Rickwood Field in Birmingham. That game's at noon Eastern Time. As I mentioned, Columbia International is at Point. Concord is opening up at Francis Marion for a doubleheader at 1 o'clock. The teams are supposed to play a third game on Saturday. That game's now been canceled. Erskine is at Lander for a doubleheader at 1 o'clock on Friday. That game was supposed to be a single game at Erskine on Friday and a doubleheader at Lander on Saturday. They moved it for various reasons. And now games 1 and 2 are going to be Friday in Greenwood. Game 3 will be on Monday in Due West. USC Lancaster at East Georgia for a doubleheader on Friday. They're supposed to be playing at Lancaster on Sunday. North Greenville begins play in the Houston Winter Invitational as a Division II tournament. They'll be playing against Alabama Huntsville on Friday at 2:30 at Dakin Park, which is the home of the Houston Astros. Also, Belmont Abbey is supposed to be at Coker at 4 o'clock. Mars Hill is at USC Aiken at 4. Southern Wesleyan is at Newberry at 4. Davidson Elkins plays at USC Beaufort at 6. And then in the Visit Panama City Beach tournament, Florida Strong's Tech is supposed to play a ranked Gulf Coast team at 11. And then a Division II ranked Wallace and Dothan team out of Alabama at 6:30. Cleveland Community College out of Shelby will be playing at USC Sumter for a doubleheader at 1 o'clock Friday. That game was moved from later in the weekend because of the weather issues. And Spartanburg Methodist had his weekend series with Cumberland's canceled. On Saturday, we mentioned Rio Grande is at Voorhees. Coker is at Belmont Abbey. King is at Anderson for a doubleheader. They'll also play Sunday at 1. Newberry and Southern Wesleyan are supposed to play at Southern Wesleyan for a doubleheader at 1 on Saturday. They had played at Newberry on Friday, or were supposed to play at Newberry on Friday. Davidson Elkins at USC Beaufort on Tuesday at 2 o'clock. Mars Hill at USC Aiken at 2 o'clock. North Greenville plays Central Missouri at the Houston Winter Invitational at 2:30. And Claflin plays Stillman in the Willie Mays HBCU Invitational in Birmingham at 3 o'clock. On Sunday, Florida Strong's Tech will not be playing anymore. They had to move the games up to Thursday and Friday. On Sunday, we also have Southern playing Claflin in the Willie Mays tournament. North Greenville is against East Stroudsburg out in Houston. Davidson Elkins is at USC Beaufort at noon. East Georgia is USC Lancaster at 1 for a doubleheader. King is at Anderson at 1. And Mars Hill is at USC Aiken at 1. I know just hearing all this is kind of tough to keep track of, but at PalmettoStateBaseball.com, I have a daily schedule and a score list. You can check it out there. Again, PalmettoStateBaseball.com. I try to provide updates during the day under my Twitter handle or X handle of @PalmettoBase. And also, I will be posting updates or final scores at least on the Facebook group that I just started this week, Palmetto State Baseball Group. That's the name of it. Check it out. Become a member. I want it to be more than just me posting about college baseball. I'd like it to be a gathering spot for folks to talk about Not just college baseball, that's the primary focus, of course, but if you got some good memories of pro games, high school games, American Legion games, whatever it is, just talking about baseball in general. Don't want it to be a place where we argue with people, but we can have discussions about baseball. Don't want any politics, don't want any religious debates, and we just want people to be a place where you can go and have a good time talking about baseball. Anyway, hopefully the weather won't be too bad this coming weekend wherever you are. Just remember that Jesus loves you, and keep up with what's going on in college baseball in the state of South Carolina at PalmettoStateBaseball.com. For now, this is Rudy Jones saying thanks for watching. Have a great night.